Hi friends, as you saw in the thumbnail, in this video we are going to learn about the farm bills. These farm bills, after getting president consent, has created chaos across the nation. Farmers from different states has been protesting since then. What exactly are these farm bills? How are they going to affect the farmers of the country? What is the real truth behind these bills? In this video, we are going to learn all these stuff in a simple and lucid manner. So sit back, relax and watch the video till the end. But before getting into the video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting videos on the contemporary issues. Now, without wasting our time, let's get into the video. What are farm bills? Government is saying that these farm bills has been introduced in the nation for upliftment of the farmers. But still there are some farmers protesting against it. Now, before moving into the topic, let us learn a simple theory. Why do farmers do farming? Simple, to earn reasonable money on their produce. Firstly, why are farmers poor in the nation? Because they usually tend to sell their produce to the wholesalers who actually decides their price. Therefore, we can conclude that farmers as price takers, not the price makers, because they usually takes the price fixed by the others. My next question is, why can't farmers fix their own prices? For this, we should go back to the history. During the phase of Green Revolution in 1960s, APMC, Agricultural Produce Market Committees, simply known as Mandi system, has been established in the country. What is this Mandi system? Mandis are the ones who buy the produce from the farmers and no one else can buy from them. Means only the Mandis can buy the produce from the farmers. They allocate some space and give license to the traders to buy the produce from the farmers. In this system, farmers tend to have options of price from different traders offering them different prices. But later on, traders used to form into groups offering the same price to the farmers, therefore simply exploiting the farmers to sell their produce at their lower prices. Now, let's go into the according to this bill, a company usually contracts with the farmer prior to the farming of the crop for some fixed prices. Example, let us take Lay's company. This Lay's company gets into contract with the farmers to buy their potatoes for rupees 50 per kg. Even if after the harvest, potatoes to kg 10 rupees, they simply buy for 50 rupees. In the contrast, if it rises to 100 rupees, they still buy for 50 rupees. Somehow sounds good, right? But why are farmers still protesting? Because corporates are big. They have legal teams to one-side the contract, and there will be some financial experts to decide on the price to be offered to the farmers. And the problem is, if any corporate couldn't honor their contract, means it's still like exploiting the farmers. Then what is the solution? There need to be an interim bodies which are independent to explain the terms of the contract to the farmers and in turn makes the farmers understand the terms of the contract slowly. There is a redressal system already existence in the bill, but somehow it is impracticable because subdivisional magistrate has some more duties and responsibilities to focus on other than these farmers' issue. Now let's get into the next bill. Generally, there will be some items listed by the government known as essential commodities list, which a trader cannot hold in storages beyond certain limit. Now consider the example of onion. Onions will be considered as essential commodity according to the list. Therefore, its storage cannot be done beyond the limits. Therefore, in the case of onions, we generally see either price hikes or price declines. If a commodity gets stored, when the price falls, then it can be bring back to the market when it regains the price. But there will be a stability in the prices. This can be easily seen in potatoes and onions. But until now, this is not the case with the onion. Many farmer suicides were seen in the onion harvest in recent past because of this reason. But with this amendment, onions are unlisted from the essential commodities list. Therefore, they can be stored when price falls. This is in favorable of the farmers, but still farmers are protesting. Why? Because they fear that traders will exploit this amendment and store the produce when harvest is heavy and bring back the harvest to the market when prices regain and it is already high. But reality is not just about the amendment. There are no sufficient storages for the produce, and government should come out with more incentives for building the storages. Now coming to the third bill. Until this point, farmers are obliged to sell to traders their produce under mandi system. But with this bill, farmers are free to sell their produce wherever they choose. For example, a farmer producing oranges in Nagpur chooses his place of sale wherever he gets the best price, whether it may be AP, whether it may be Kerala or Tamil Nadu, whatever it may be. Actually, in 2019, a famous political party in their manifesto has emphasized on one nation, one market policy. So, logically speaking, that political party and its allies should support these bills. But everyone knows why they are protesting on this. Especially this very bill is very good for the farmers. But still they are protesting. Why? Because mandis will be under state control and traders will have to pay cess, and some portion of this cess will be forwarded to the state government. So with the introduction of this bill, mandis and in turn the states will lose revenue. Then what would be the solution? The basic problem lies in the ignorance of farmers of the right price for their product. Should be a transparent mechanism for commodity prices, just like share market, where farmers can access and decide their price. One of the key fears for farmers' protest behind these bills is minimum support price. Farmers are afraid that their minimum support price system would be taken away with introduction of these bills. But it is clearly evident that these bills have nothing to do with MSP, which is minimum support price. But there is false flaws around this minimum support price system concept. Only 6% of farmers in the nation are taking and getting this MSP support. Now, what would be the solution? Being aware of the prices is the solution for all the problems of the farmers. NECC is the best example where indicative egg prices will be declared, which benefits both the consumer as well as the producer. In the same way, farmers should come together as cooperative societies and pool their produce and fix their price. If at all government really cares for the farmers, these cooperative societies which were formed by the farmers should be supported, whether it may be financially or other ways. These are real facts behind the farm bills. So, there is nothing like stoppage of agriculture with these bills. The step of passing these farm bills is a progressive step towards the development of agriculture in the nation. If you feel you learned something, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon and drop your opinion in the comment box. Thank you.